Welcome back to Advanced Physical Medicine of Yorkville's online training for weight loss. Today with Doctor's Weight Loss Solution, we are on lesson 3 and we're going to be talking about nutritional basics. In the lesson book, you're going to find information on the food pyramid. This is something that I learned in school years and years ago, and I'm sure you did as well. It starts out with grains on the bottom of the pyramid and works its way up to the very top, the tip of the pyramid, with fats and oils. And with the fats and oils, that's where you're supposed to have the least amount. This is the only part of the book that I'm not in complete agreement with regarding the food portions. Some people will say everything in moderation is what you need, and that's not a bad way to go if you want to keep it very simple. But there's never a time that McDonald's or having a 6-pack of beer or drinking a 6-pack of soda is going to be good for you, even if you do it in moderation. So I put some things together to keep it as simple as possible. I previously talked about getting 75 grams protein in a day, and I really would like you to stick with that as a minimum number of grams of protein. Protein helps to build up our muscles, and the more muscle mass we have, the higher our metabolism is going to be just while we're sitting or sleeping. And so it's always important if you're able to burn more calories doing nothing. And in addition, when you are doing things, you're going to burn more calories doing those activities. And when we're playing a caloric war, meaning we're trying to use more calories than we take in, it's important to take advantage of that for weight loss. The protein helps to build those muscles up. You're not going to end up having muscles like a bodybuilder. What we want to do is tone and increase body mass a little bit for you. Women will never bulk up as quickly as men. So if you're a woman, you don't have to fear that you're going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger at a later time. For the men, you will bulk up a little bit. That's typically what we want as men. And so that's a good advantage for you. There's many protein sources. Some books you read, some texts will say stay away from red meat or stay away from certain fish. And if you want to make things really complicated, you could follow those texts and try to figure out what it is you want to do. But I like to keep things simple. And so for me, protein is protein. I don't care what meat source it comes from. So if you like pork, if you like chicken, if you like fish, if you like beef, it doesn't matter to me. You can eat what you enjoy. It does make a difference on how you prepare the protein, prepare the meat. Certainly if you fry it, you're going to get a lot of bad fats with it, and it's going to create extra calories, and so I don't suggest that. You can saute it in a pan, and I would suggest actually using some butter. Use a quarter tablespoon of butter, and you can fry up your meat. You get a nice coating, brown coating on the outside with some flavor. You could do as simple as some salt and pepper for some seasoning, and it can be very tasty. For fish, it's always good if you don't eat the fish that eat everybody else. Like shark meat is not going to be the best for you. And as well, if you can get wild caught fish, that's best. So fish like tilapia, which is only farm raised, is not going to be the best for you. If you want to take it to the next level, you can find a protein source such as meat that is not grain fed. And so that's an issue with the farm-raised fish. A lot of times they're fed grain, and as well as the pork or the beef, they may be fed grain as well. So grass-fed will provide a better source of meat for you that is higher in omega-3 fatty acids versus omega-6 fatty acids. Like I said, we can make this very complicated or simple. So simple is you need to eat meat to get protein. Don't worry about which meat it is. Just make sure it's not a fried meat. It can be pan-seared with butter like I talked about. You can grill it. Or you could bake it. Those are different ways you can prepare your meat. The other option is take it to the next level, and with that you're finding wild-caught fish, or you are finding grass-fed beef or pork or chicken. Another source of protein for the non-meat eaters would be nuts. You can find that in cashews, macadamia nuts, pecans, walnuts. All those nuts have a good fat in it. Those fats are okay, and they can also be higher in protein. I've also found a good source of protein in the Chobani 100 yogurt. It has about 19 grams protein per 1 cup of yogurt. So that's a great combination. It's 100 calories It has 19 grams protein, and what I like to do is put something on top of it called a granola, which is a nut-based product, and the cinnamon granola is very good. It has some dried yellow raisins in it, which adds a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of God sugar, that's okay, and it creates some crunch to the yogurt as well. There's also a coconut granola you can add to it, and what it really is just chopped up nuts with some flavoring, and you can put that on there and have that for breakfast anytime you want when you want something different. The caloric intake that most of you are on is about 1,200 calories per day. Some we've put on 1,000 and others we put on 1,500. And so if you're unsure of which caloric intake you should be on a daily basis, just please ask one of us. We're happy to confirm what our recommended caloric intake should be for you. But for the majority of you, it's 1,200 calories per day. Kind of a pain in the butt to keep track of the calories, but if you keep a spreadsheet throughout the day, write down what you ate, make sure you look at the servings, how many servings of the product you had, so you can keep track of some of the protein content, calories, fat that you've had throughout the day. And if you're supposed to be at 1,200, and some days you got 1,100, other days you got 1,300. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. Don't overanalyze it. Just try to average about 1,200 calories a day. Next, I want to talk about grains. If you recall, I said grains are typically at the bottom of that pyramid, and they say something about 6 to 8, maybe even 10 servings a day of grains. What I suggest for you is to eliminate grains as much as you can. This is different than the Atkins diet, which just cared more about the carbohydrates. I don't care so much about the carbohydrates. I care about the grains themselves. Grains are just not breads and pastas. They're also rice and oats. So it takes a little bit of work to eliminate grains, and I think it's nearly impossible to eliminate grains completely. And quite honestly, grains are, to me, very yummy. And so what I do is about 80% grain-free and 20% grains. For those of you that are eating our food with a program, there are grains in there, and that's okay. Don't worry about it. But as you then progress to your own food, you want to try to eliminate grains as much as possible. Grains are inflammatory to our body, so the more grains we eat, the more inflammation it creates. That also creates inflammation in our gut and joints. So when you have gut inflammation, it makes it harder to digest the food and get all the nutrients out of it, so you're not getting the most out of your food. And then it also creates inflammation in those joints. Inflammation is painful. It's not something that we want. Some of you have medical conditions that create inflammation in the joints anyway, like osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, or you've just had your joints worn out and they're swollen and they're inflamed. So eating a grain-free diet will help with your discomfort. And the idea behind that are that grains are high in omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6 fatty acids are further broken down into our body to create inflammation. Non-grain or removing grain from your diet helps to increase the ratio of your omega-3 fatty acids, which are like fish oils or flax seeds. So it increases the omega-3 fatty acids to your omega-6 fatty acids. I'm getting more technical, more specific, so if you don't want to know that information, it's okay, don't worry about it. But just if you can eliminate or reduce the amount of grains you have, you will be better off for it. Some of you also will get inflammation in your gut, not only in the intestines, but actually your gut inflames as well. Some of my patients have talked about after they eat grains like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or some pasta, they look pregnant afterwards. Like their gut is expanding out. And if you start eliminate those grains, it will be amazing how your body responds to it. In addition, you also may find you get sick less and other health benefits as well from eliminating those grains. As far as vegetables are concerned, I don't think there needs to be a limit on those. You can have as many servings of vegetables as you want, and I would prefer if you focus on the foods that you create, that you're focusing more on the proteins and the veggies, and eliminate the grains if at all possible. And so veggies, find what you like. If you received a food plan giving you ideas on what to eat, and maybe there's broccoli on that, and you don't like broccoli, please don't force yourself to eat broccoli. This isn't about some fad diet. This is about creating some lifestyle changes. And so find some vegetables that you enjoy eating. If you have a hard time eating vegetables, it's okay to cook them to soften them up. That's fine. You can put some salt and pepper on them. That's fine as well. You can even grate a little bit of cheese on your vegetables. Asiago cheese is great. Parmesan cheese is great. And for those of you that have balsamic vinegar, you can drizzle a little balsamic vinegar over it as well. All of these things will help enhance the flavor of those vegetables, and they're very healthy for you and give you the nutrition that you need. For fruits, I would limit those to 1 to 2 servings a day. And you need to be cautious with drinking fruit juice, because a cup of orange juice could be as many as 2 or 3 oranges that were used to get that juice. When you're drinking the juice, you don't get the other products that would be in the actual fruit itself. For example, when you eat an orange, you're not getting all the fiber from eating the actual orange itself. You're just getting the juice, which is high in sugar. However, it's God's sugar, so I'm okay with that. It's not a processed sugar, but you just need to be careful of that and limit how much fruit you have. And so if you're going to have a fruit juice, I would suggest just a half cup of fruit juice, and then for fruits throughout the day, maybe 1 other serving of fruits throughout the day. I don't care if it's a pineapple, an orange, a banana, which some people will say is higher in sugar. Again, it's God's sugar, and if you're eating that fruit versus a candy bar, you're winning time and time again. And so if you really want to have a banana every day, then have a banana every day. There's no problem with that. As far as fats are concerned, it's important that you get fats in your diet, because your brain is essentially made up of fat, essential fatty acids, and your cell membranes. Every cell in your body has fat that wraps around the outside of that cell or creates that cell membrane. So a non-fat diet is a very unhealthy choice. I know years ago non-fat was the craze, but non-fat is not good. The type of fat you get can make a big difference. Polyunsaturated or monounsaturated fats are good fats. You can also get good fats from nuts, like the cashews I talked about, the macadamia nuts. You can get them from seeds like sunflower seeds or flax seeds. Those are great to just throw on a salad as a topper. And then you can get it from oils. Olive oil is a great cooking oil. Coconut oil is a great cooking oil as well. Just be careful, because with coconut oil you can change the flavor of some of the things that you're cooking and make it coconutty. So if you're making eggs in the morning and you want to use it with coconut oil, just be a little sparingly with the coconut oil. As well, coconut oil is typically a solid at room temperature, so when you buy it, it will typically be a solid, and that's okay, that's normal. Another source of good fats would be olives. I don't care which types of olives, but olives are good choices. Some of my favorites are the Kalamata olives, the Greek olives. Those are great. And then avocados are great sources of fat as well. You can chop that up and put it on your salad. You can put it on some of your dishes that you're creating yourself. You can also chop up some onions, put a little salt in there, maybe a little bit of sauteed garlic, and create your own guacamole. Last but not least, I want to talk about milk. Cow's milk is what most of us drink. There's also other types of milk, like soy milk and almond milk. I suggest that if you want to drink cow's milk, you do it sparingly. A lot of us have a food sensitivity to the protein source in the cow's milk, which is called casein, and it can cause breathing issues like bronchitis and cause sicknesses as well. And so I would limit your milk to 1 to 2 glasses a day as a maximum. And you need to consider as well the milk that would be in any yogurt or cheese that you eat. And so for me, I personally choose to use almond milk throughout the day when I have milk, and I will have some yogurt and also cheese depending on the day. And so I do get some milk products, but I limit how much I take in. And actually at home we make our own almond milk, which is not very complicated at all. You can look up a recipe online. We have a Vitamix blender and we blend that up, and then we put it into a cheesecloth and drip that almond milk out. Sounds interesting if you've never had almond milk. It does taste a little nutty. You can add some great flavors to the products that you're either cooking or if you just drink it. But what I want you to do is get outside of your normal box and try some of these things. You can also purchase almond milk at the store. So I talked about the good fats, the monounsaturated and polyunsaturated, but let's talk about the bad fats. The bad fats are going to be just the saturated fats or the trans fats. In fried food, it typically creates trans fats or partially hydrogenated oils. Trans fats are known to be carcinogenic or cause cancer, and overall they are just not healthy for you. And so you need to avoid trans fats as much as you can. So with grains, I do the 80-20 rule. With trans fats, I do the 99-1% rule. I just try to get rid of them as much as possible. They are just overall very unhealthy. Anytime you're out getting fast food, there's going to be lots of trans fats in that. So limit that as much as you can. Well, that's it today for Nutrition Basics. I hope you're able to use this information this week. Start planning your menu for your food this week. Prepare, plan ahead so that you can make good choices and not get stuck into a position where you're not sure what you are going to do or what you're going to eat and have to go out to eat. I know you can make this a success. Ask us any questions. God bless you all, and good luck.